All right. You did mention the issue of metering,
Sure.
which of course seem to have become a major challenge for a lot of people who are not metered, and
Sure.
this idea of estimated
Bills.
billings coming through to them. Now, I remember that the Minister of Works, Babatunde Fashola, had advised that these meters can actually be produced locally.
Yeah.
So why are we not doing so?
No, there's no problem with the production, where every disco is patronizing local producers.
Okay.
That's not the issue, really.
So
The
why do
problem
we
with the
still have
metering-
a lot of people not metered?
The issue with the metering is a function of the tariff. You know, the discos are expected to meter. There's a metering obligation over a 5-year period. First of all, we're not even being sure how many consumers there are that we have. But the critical issue here is that if the tariffs are not right, the investment you require for metering will not be there. So that's why it's so slow. Okay, one of the measures the minister has come up with is to sort of take the metering stuff away from the discos, not to completely away, and then license other companies who can then take the risk of buying the meters, work out a repayment agreement with the discos. That way you can accelerate your metering. It's a welcome development. It's something similar to Company, when Company was there, when it was the consumers themselves who were putting these funds forward. So that and a combination of other things will accelerate the metering pace. But what is important with metering is not just metering for the sake of metering. The metering must be intelligent meters, because we're getting into a regime where you, the consumer, wants to know what you are consuming. I, the supplier, wants to know what you are consuming. So that way we reduce the arguments. Right now, the biggest threat to the entire sector is the way meters are bypassed. There's too much energy theft, and a lot of it comes from the fact that some of the meters we have are not robust enough. So you have this constant issue of, I didn't consume this, or you consume that, and stuff like that. But again, you see, knowing these challenges, as I told you, is half the solution to the problem.
I wanted us to talk about the issue of total deregulation like we have the telecom. Will that system actually work for the power sector?
Yes, it will work. But then let's understand what happened with telecoms. You know, I will give you one assurance. If it was NITEL that we sought to privatize as a means to opening up the sector, I'm sure we'll still be having difficulties. It would be incremental. It would not be as rapid as what happened, because at the point where the decision to privatize telecoms happened, the GSM technology came in. So most of the investors came in with what I call greenfield operations. And so even the regulator was able to sort of set the rules out, open up the field, and through competition, they brought things to where they are today. Now, what makes power a little different is that we had just this behemoth called PHCN, NEPA, then PHCN. There's no other pool, there's no other place you could go to get anything else. So what we're trying to do is to work and rework what government had run for like 60 years unsuccessfully. So there are so many issues to deal with. Even government deals with labor issues. Most of the monies they got from the privatization went into settling labor. Most of the discos and gencos will tell you what they inherited in terms of personnel. There's a lot of work being done on them to convert them for essentially mindset of public sector mentality to that of private sector efficiency. You can't throw everybody into the job market. It's a slower process than if it was a greenfield operation. So those challenges are there. We're meeting with them. But then talking about opening up the sector, the government is already doing that. There is a robust solar energy plan in place to reach out to, you know, the Rural Electrification Agency is doing quite a lot, very robust, that's going out. So that's the way government is trying very quickly to get to as many unserviced people in the industry today. So that is going on. The minister has talked about his eligible customer stuff. He's talked about licensing more people. I mean, it will always be there. What we just need to do is that all these things must be articulated so that good efforts do not end up muddying the waters because you are not looking at agreement you have before, you're not looking at obligations. You may end up creating more problems than you are solving. And I believe that the discussions are going on. The regulator is on top of their game, and I know they are doing wide consultations. But the key at the end of all these things we're talking about is to get the right tariffs. We pay some of the lowest tariffs on the continent. If you go to Ghana today and there's no flicker, it's because they're paying more than you.
Like how much should an average Nigerian that uses light, like how much should
no, what you need to do is just measure what your kilo. Let me give you an example. The studies have been done. I didn't do the study. Even NEC recently, I think 2 days ago, said that haven't studied the MITO model and whatnot. What people should be paying is about 51 naira per kilowatt hour of electricity. But today, they pay between 22 and 31. So that's where the gap is. But I understand the fear of many people. If you push me up to what the correct tariffs will be, what is the guarantee that I will have steady supply? It's chicken and egg. But like I said, the monies to turn around electricity is not here. So the only way you can do is remove the distortions. The moment you announce the right tariffs, the investments will come in. Right. Competition will set in, and prices will ultimately crash. All
right, thank you very much. It's, there's a whole lot to talk about and electricity. Well, thank you very much.
Well, people should also mind their usage.
Yeah,
people
conserving light.
Conserving, yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Mr. George Etomi, for your time.
You're welcome.
George Etomi is one of the directors at Eco Discos, and we've been looking at the problems in the power sector. Well, that's a wrap on today's edition of the program. Thank you very much for being part of it. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago.